Keep us jamming.
Good evening, everybody. This is Dylan Neighbor Cruz, the Tattooed Theologian, and we are the God Squad, ready to get funky with everybody as we talk about this week's presidential debate. Say hello to all the fine folks, my co-hosts, Keith and December.
What's happening? We back, y'all. I know y'all watched that debate. We got a lot to talk about, okay? Because they gave us something to talk about, okay? Are y'all ready? That's what I need to know. You ready, Keith? The progressive heretic?
I am so ready. Oh my gosh, this is going to be so much fun. Oh yeah, I hope our listeners watched it live. I hope you had a chance to watch it yourself live. I literally popped popcorn, had a big bowl of popcorn, was sitting there. It was everything I was hoping it was going to be. Extremely entertaining. Insane, crazy. But as I was hoping, I got to watch Kamala Harris just really decimate him. It was beautiful. It was a thing of beauty. It was really great. We'll talk all about that. We get to the nitty gritty as we keep going here.
Yes.
December, did you say hi yet?
I did. I said, what's up?
Oh.
Yeah, I'm your blackest friend, December Rose, author and spoken word artist and co-host of the God Squad and sometimes co-host of Heretic Happy Hour with Choir. What's up, y'all? Welcome back to the podcast.
Yeah, good to be back.
Yeah, we had the presidential debate that I wasn't sure was going to happen. And I do have some points of critique at some point. I don't know if we want to roll the videotape in the segments first or do we want to talk first, but I do have some things that I want to say at some point. But so how do we want to roll this, y'all?
Well, first, I would say this. We want to hear y'all feedback too. So we want your comments. Go on over to Matthew DeStefano's page. If you're at...
Oh, you know what? My comments are working, by the way. I just
Are they working?
And it just popped up, yeah.
Okay, so if you're on Keith or Matt's page, please comment. We want to know what you thought. We want to know what you're thinking. We want to know how you feel, whatever the case is. And you can come backstage and join us on the show too if you have something you want to say. You don't have to be on video if you don't want to, but if you do, we'd love to see a lovely face, but we'd love to hear your voice too. So you have that option to join us on the show and make sure you have a comment ready. We're talking about the debate. So if you just say, I want to have a comment about the debate, that would be fine. But make sure you respond to our producer when he brings you back, or he can get booted out if you don't say something.
That's
okay,
right.
So yes. So make sure you have something to say. But we got so much to talk about. And now I would just say, we want to hear what your thoughts are. How you feeling? What's your outlook on life since the great debate of 20 and 24?
Yeah, the great debate. Yeah.
Yeah, good comment there. Care Bear 42 says Kamala had it won with the handshake. It was fabulous. Yeah, I totally agree.
I totally agree with that. He had no intention of shaking her hand.
No, he was not going to shake her hand. Nope.
No.
And she had no intention of letting him not shake her hand. I mean, it was clear. Her hand was out. She was like Kamala Harris.
I'm Kamala Harris.
Yeah, by the way, I just had to pronounce my name, Kamala Harris. Yeah.
I'm Kamala.
If you don't know, you better ask somebody. I mean,
you better ask somebody. But you ain't got to ask because I'm telling you. Yeah. So, it was that the handshake set the tone.
Oh, absolutely. Absolutely. Absolutely.
Yeah, it was a bit of a power play right from the beginning, and she did a wonderful job. Yeah.
Yeah. Well, Trump opened with what was supposed to be his strong point, even though he wasn't answering the question that was asked of him. But our first clip is Kamala Harris's response to Trump's unhinged xenophobic rant that had nothing to do with the question that he had been asked at that moment in time.
Yeah. So let's play the first clip.
Roll that beautiful bean footage.
Donald Trump left us the worst unemployment since the Great Depression. Donald Trump left us the worst public health epidemic in a century. Donald Trump left us the worst attack on our democracy since the Civil War. And what we have done is clean up Donald Trump's mess. What we have done and what I intend to do is build on what we know are the aspirations and the hopes of the American people. But I'm going to tell you all in this debate tonight, you're going to hear from the same old tired playbook A bunch of lies, grievances, and name calling. What you're going to hear tonight is a detailed and dangerous plan called Project 2025 that the former president intends on implementing if he were elected again. I believe very strongly that the American people want a president who understands the importance of bringing us together, knowing we have so much more in common than what separates us. And
Did you notice that right when she said Project 2025, he nodded his head?
Yeah. Subconsciously.
A little bit of a Freudian slip there.
Yeah.
It's like Project 25. Oh yeah, that's me. That's
Oh
me.
yeah. My great plan.
And I love that she just set that up. She was just like, "Look, you're going to hear this guy lie a bunch, and you're not going to. I'm going to point it out when he does."
Yeah,
I thought that was
that's
good.
part of, again, I knew going into it that was going to be part of her strategy, was to rattle him and to get him, emotional and get him upset, right? And that comment about you're going to hear a bunch of lies and mentioning Project 2025, because she knows every time somebody tries to connect it to him, he immediately disavows it. So that was her first attempt. But see, he's okay right there. It's not, but you're not getting to him yet, right? But it's about to get to him. She's about to find his weak spot. And when she does, oh, buddy, it's going to be great. Yeah.
Well,
it didn't take that long either.
No, it didn't. About 10 minutes, I think. With about 10 minutes into it. Yeah.
But I mean, he owns that shit. Project 2025 is. I mean, he did say he's not going to read it because that dude don't read shit anyway.
No, he doesn't.
But he has absolutely got plans to implement it because of all the people at the Federalist Society, the Heritage Foundation, and as that caller last night said, the White Heritage Foundation. That was
that was beautiful. Yes.
Whoever that was that called last night, chef's kiss.
The White Heritage.
Yeah. 33 out of 38 authors of Project 2025 were in the Trump administration.
Yes.
Worked for Donald Trump. So
and they're on the videos.
He can disavow it.
Yeah, they're
not
on
only
the
that.
videos.
If he doesn't have anything to do with it, why is his name in it 300 times?
Exactly.
Right.
Who else? Yeah. What other president's name is in it? Nobody else?
Well,
name in
Biden's is in there, but they're always talking about Biden because what they want to push back. So it makes sense that his is in there.
Yeah.
But Trump's name being in there is because that's who they want to be in there. And we saw Kevin Roberts say in an interview that we played on the God Squad before, oh, he's saying he's lying because it's politically expedient to lie.
Yes.
So
he flat out said that. We understand that he has to
remind America.
That's right.
Reminding America.
Yeah.
What did you say last night? December, he's a lying liar who lies.
Yes, I actually heard Tara, I can't think of her last name, but she's a Republican and she's a commentator on MSNBC and sometimes CNN. I can't think of her last name, but her name is Tara. She always calls him a lying liar who lies. And that perfectly sums up Donald Trump. If his mouth is moving, if he's breathing air, if he's walking, living in this earth, he is lying.
Right.
Oh,
he's creating something to lie about, like he did in that debate.
Yeah, and that's part of his complaint, right? Was it's so funny. We were talking on Facebook about this before.
Yes, Tara Setmeyer. Thank you, Care Bear.
We were talking before we jumped on about how Trump always wants it both ways, right? He creates these narratives in both directions, and he just wants to cover all his bases. So, initially when the debate was over, he went on Fox and Friends, right? And then he said it was rigged. ABC News must have given her the answers ahead of time. It was rigged. It was rigged. It was rigged. And now I won. So wait a minute. Was it rigged or did you win? Was it set
like the election?
You can't be both. If they cheated to beat you,
how'd you win?
Then how did you win? And if you won, then it doesn't make sense, right? He wants it both ways. But the whole thing is about the fact checking, right? It's like, well, they fact checked me, and they didn't fact check her because she wasn't lying every 30 seconds. Everything out of her mouth wasn't something invented. Like, well, we're going to talk about it. We don't want to spoil it if you didn't hear it all. But yeah, it's like the reason you got fact checked, dude, is that like every time you said something, it was a lie, and they had to go, well, no, there's no evidence of that. Oh no, that's never happened. And yeah, So,
Yeah, yep.
good for
Bill
them to do that.
Fenstermaker says, I'm fairly certain the Heritage Foundation plans to implement their project with or without Trump's help. If not 2025, they'll just drag it in 2020. Honey, listen, they have already started. They call it Project 2025, but many of the things that are in there, they have already begun that years ago. They
That's
have
right.
started.
Oh yeah,
they have,
they've been writing these things for decades.
Yeah, they're not waiting. Yeah, because all
they
that stuff.
finally
just-
round it up and put it in a big book for the public to see, but they have been started implementing those things. That's how that's how Roe v. Wade finally came
That's
down.
right.
This is
Yeah.
years of worth of work that they've been doing.
Yeah, and it's also the reason why we've had the legislation in different states about putting the 10 Commandments in there, teaching the Bible. It's all part of that. And so
They had
people
trigger laws. What they have, the trigger laws for if and when they could defeat Roe v. Wade, these laws would automatically go into effect in these states. They had been Project 20. They put it in a big old book and slapped a pretty name on it, but they have been working on this plan, been in action. It's been an all systems go for a good long while now.
Yeah, that's right.
Mm-hmm.
All right, this next clip is pretty short, and there's a reason why I picked it. Matt, if you want to bring up the next one, there we go.
Our country, because I've never seen a worse period of time. People can't go out and buy cereal or bacon or eggs or anything else.
I just want to know from Donald Trump, how much is a loaf of bread?
How much is
How much is a pound of bacon
Yeah.
and a dozen eggs and a box of cereal? Because I guarantee you that jackass has never been into a grocery store and bought anything in his fucking life.
Never been.
My question is, why is he so infatuated with bacon? I love bacon.
I love
But
bacon.
he can't think of nothing else. He can't think of nothing else.
Yeah,
he could say, he could have said
bacon,
baby
cereal,
formula.
and
He could have
eggs
said
last week.
Pampers. He could have said anything,
Yes,
but he
exactly.
can't find nothing else to say because he don't go
Applesauce.
grocery shopping.
Yeah,
He
he
don't
could
know
have said
nothing.
applesauce and mayonnaise. Yeah, but no. Bacon. Yeah. It's always bacon.
Bacon, honey. He don't know nothing about that. I promise you. I promise you,
Yeah.
there's nobody in Trump or no one in his immediate family does their own grocery shopping.
No.
I promise you that.
He
This
doesn't
man
even
don't know
probably-
nothing about grocery shopping. This
Yeah.
man don't know nothing about sitting down at no table trying to figure some bills out. This man don't know nothing about whether or not he gonna buy some groceries or pay the light bill or not pay the light bill and pay the water bill or not pay the water bill and pay daycare. He don't know shit about that. This man don't know nothing about having some groceries and getting up to the thing and having to put some stuff back out the cart because you over your budget and can't afford to get everything you got. He don't know nothing about that.
No.
He ain't about that life. He ain't never been about that life. And when she called him out about not everybody gets to start with $400 million from their dad and file bankruptcy 6 times. And the only response to that he had was, it was a fraction of that. Motherfucker, listen, I will take a fraction of $400 million. Give me a fraction.
Yeah.
Yeah, 1% of 400 million is $4 million.
Yeah.
You know, come on.
I'd settle
Give me
for half of
2%.
that.
Give me 2%. I'll take any fraction, okay, of 400 million. And
Yeah.
the truth of the matter, his niece called him out, Mary Trump. I think it was Mary Trump, called him out the next day and said, yes, his father gave him $420-something million, which he squandered and had to get, rescued several times and filed bankruptcy. His niece called him out and told him, yes, that is true, which we didn't think that
He
it was a lie
bankrupted
anyway.
multiple casinos.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, if you can bankrupt a casino, you are really doing something.
You'd have to
He's
try
struggling.
really hard.
Because
You
you
have
know
to try
how to
really
pay
hard.
itself. It should run its people
Yeah.
are literally coming in there to give you money. The
They're
house
just
always
giving you money. Yeah.
there you go. Becky Payne said 413. Thank you. 413. I wish somebody would give me
Dude,
413 million.
Yeah. I would settle for
And then I have to file bankruptcy over and over and over, and they just keep giving me money to fuck up. I wish somebody would.
Yeah.
That's his life. That's the life he knows. What's amazing to me is that you have a man who's so detached from the people that are in his cult. His life is worlds apart from the people that are diehard from him. I'm in the South. I'm in South Carolina. I always see these trailers full of Trump flags, but it's not just them. Let me just make that clear. I also see Trump flags planted in very bougie yards. So it's not just him. But anyways, they're worlds apart from his world. Worlds apart from his world. But he has some things at his disposal that fraction of people have always been have the propensity to follow behind. That is fear and racism.
Mhm.
Fear, racism, power, and control. He's like the perfect biscuit mix of all this. Fear, racism, misogyny, power, control. You know what I'm saying?
I don't want to eat that.
Perfect little coat cake. This is a perfect little coat cake. It was made with all the right ingredients. A little coat cake. You know what I'm saying? And you got the fear, you got the misogyny, you got the xenophobia, you got the homophobia mixed in there, you got the power and the control, sprinkle a little bit of celebrity on there with a lot of money, got that white skin that's sometimes orange, and the perfect little coat cake. Perfect. And you got all these people running behind him who don't know nothing about who never could experience the kind of life this man have experienced and never will.
Right.
He doesn't know anything
And
about
you know why?
and never will. But he
Because
hates who they hate, and that's good enough.
Yeah. And they believe
Yeah,
the
said bigot biscuits. That's what I mean. And the bigot biscuits is running around eating the coat cake, girl. Okay.
Yeah.
What you
Thank you
say,
for
Dylan?
that comment.
Well, one of the reasons is because they believe the next lie that we're about to play. And
Yeah.
this is one of the more absurd lies that Trump told that night.
Yeah.
And so let's break it
Yeah.
down.
I don't say her because she has no policy. Everything that she believed 3 years ago and 4 years ago is out the window. She's going to my philosophy now. In fact, I was going to send her a MAGA hat. She's gone to my philosophy. But if she ever got elected, she'd change it. And it will be the end of our country. She's a Marxist. Everybody knows she's a Marxist. Her father's a Marxist professor in economics, and he taught her well. But when you look
Got a hand on the chin, right there.
Uh-huh.
Like, say what now?
And
What
and that was what you were talking about, Keith. He literally did the thing. 1 second, I'm going to give her a MAGA hat because she's basically following my policies,
like
and
me.
then the next second, she's a Marxist.
She's a
Now,
Marxist.
Which is it?
Which is
I
it?
first became aware of the fact that in the United States of America, there is a revolutionary communist party back in 2002 when I was in an alternative bookstore in Honolulu. And that's the first time I saw the name Bob Avakian.
Mm.
Bob Avakian is the leader of the Revolutionary Communist Party.
Mm.
And he's an actual Marxist.
Yeah.
So I looked up what he had to say about Harrison Walls after she picked him. And his line was something to the effect of, "We don't want more of this stuff. We need a revolution."
Yeah.
So enough Harrison Walls. We need a revolution. So the idea that I just can't believe that anybody fucking believes it. And the only reason that they believe it is because they don't know what the fuck Marxism is.
That's exactly
Yeah.
it. You can
I'm
only
convinced
believe
that's what it is.
if you don't
I
know what
do two
Marxism
things
is.
that I love: dancing and dogs.
It's just a code word. It's
Yeah.
anything that could
yeah.
otherwise. It doesn't matter what the word is.
That's
Any
right.
word that you can use to any little like catchphrase. They
Right.
just check all the boxes. Just check all the boxes.
Yeah.
She's brown. She was black. I don't know when she became black. Oh, we're gonna play that clip too. You know what I'm
Yeah.
saying? It just whatever can otherize you the most. Just all the
Yeah.
phrases, all the things.
Well, yeah. It's funny. Go ahead, Dylan.
Well, one of the things that really pisses me off about that is, and I'm not a Marxist, but I do lean democratic socialist, right? Is that by saying that anything to the fucking left of fascism is Marxism, the right gets to stranglehold any kind of progress,
Yes.
Mhm.
because all they have to do is throw that word out there.
Throw that
Socialism,
out there.
Marxism. And people start losing their goddamn mind because they've never read the Communist Manifesto. They
Yeah.
don't know that it means seize the means of production and outlaw private property and all of these kind of things that Marxists want.
Yep.
So it stifles progress and it pushes the Overton window to the right, and it just pisses me off no end.
And let's get something straight. They're not against socialism.
No.
Oh no.
They're against the kind of socialism that doesn't help who they like.
Yes.
Because
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
think we did billions and billions and trillions of dollars worth of socialism when we bailed out the billionaires
That's
and
right.
that bankrupted this country some years back.
Yeah. We
Okay.
have
And all the
socialism
subsidies for
Subsidies,
oil
okay.
and gas and all.
Subsidies
all
for
that
oil
shit.
and gas. private companies that want to build humongous stadiums and things
Oh
get
yeah.
subsidies, big companies.
Yep.
These are billionaires that sit atop of these companies and they
Yep.
get subsidies to come and do. They're not against, so where does that money come from? That comes from the
Yeah.
people. We're not
Taxpayer
printing
money.
extra money for those
Yeah.
things. That
Yeah.
comes from the
Right.
people, that comes from the taxpayers.
Yep.
So they're not against socialism. Let's get that straight. They're not. They're against any type of socialism that doesn't help who they want helped.
That's right.
That's right.
Okay, that's what they're against. And Felix had a comment that said they would have called Jesus a commie. And Bill Fenstermeister said Jesus was my favorite socialist. Listen, let me amen to both of y'all. Let me tell you
Yes.
something. If Jesus was walking the earth today, they would be saying the same things about him that they're saying about Kamala. They'd be treating him the same way they treated Obama. You understand what I'm
Yeah.
saying?
Yeah.
I trust and believe.
And the way they
Okay,
treated
a
MLK and the
brown
way they
man,
treated
an
Gandhi.
immigrant,
Mhm.
brown man with a strange name. Okay, because
Yeah.
today we'll be calling him Jesus. Okay, a brown man who's a Palestinian Jew.
Mhm. Yeah.
Okay, well, is it Palestinian Jew or just a Jew?
He's
wherever-
a Jew from Palestine. I mean,
A
Jew
Jew
from
from
Palestine. Yeah, he was
Okay,
born in Bethlehem.
Okay.
Bethlehem's in Palestine.
there you go. There you go. Who we talking about that we need to love our neighbor. We need to love our neighbor. We need to be kind to the foreigner. We need to help the least of these. We need to love our enemies and forgive. We need he be the biggest. He woke Jesus. He be woke Jesus.
right. And
Jesus was walking
capitalism's
today.
not in
He
the
be
Bible.
woke Jesus. They don't like woke Jesus. Okay.
No, that's right. They don't like Jesus because they think he's woke. Yeah.
And capitalism's not in the Bible, but wealth redistribution and no private property is.
And debt forgiveness.
That's why that's
Debt
why there's
forgiveness.
and debt forgiveness.
Yeah.
Yeah,
That's in there.
that's why there
Every
used to be
7
a
years,
thing
wipe
of
it out.
Yeah.
who said it, Jesus or Karl Marx.
Yeah.
Have you seen that on the internet?
No,
Who said it,
no,
Jesus
I
or Karl
haven't
Marx?
seen it.
Yeah.
All right, I got to look
Oh,
at
We
yeah.
that.
need to play that. We need to play that on the
Yeah.
show one day.
We'll do that next time.
So yeah, wealth redistribution and debt forgiveness and no private property, and that's in the Gospels and the Book of Acts. If anybody's keeping score at home.
Listen, there is neither Jew nor Greek. There is neither slave nor free. There is neither
Yep.
man nor woman. It goes on down and said they're all child of the Most High. They would not. I promise you, if Jesus
Oh,
is
yeah.
walking there today, the Republicans wouldn't want shit to do with him. They don't want shit to do with him now, outside of
right.
using his name, exploiting his name, and using his entire person as a mascot for their bullshit.
He's
They
a
don't want nothing to
mascot.
do with.
Yeah. He's a mascot.
They don't want nothing to do with Jesus.
Yeah, he really is a mascot. You know, I mean, like they never let the mascot talk at the press conference, right? They interview the coach and the players. And like
Yeah, they don't even
Jesus-
let the mascot talk at the pep rally.
That's right. He doesn't
He
say
just runs
anything.
around and does
They
shit.
just want to see you and yay and cheer, but keep your mouth shut. We don't want to hear from you. That's how they treat
Yeah.
Jesus. Totally.
That's right.
Yeah.
All right, Matt. Let's bring up Donald Trump prevaricating like an idiot on abortion.
Or why should they trust you?
Well, the reason I'm doing that vote is because the plan is, as you know, the vote is they have abortion in the 9th month. They even have, and you can look at the governor of West Virginia, the previous governor of West Virginia, not the current governor, who's doing an excellent job, but the governor before. He said the baby will be born and we will decide what to do with the baby. In other words, we'll execute the baby. And that's why I did that, because that predominates, because they're radical. The Democrats are radical in that. And her vice presidential pick, which I think is a horrible pick, by the way, for our country, because he
Yeah,
is
sure.
really out of it. But her vice presidential pick says abortion in the 9th month is absolutely fine. He also says execution after birth. It's execution, no longer abortion, because the baby is born, is okay. And that's not okay with me.
This man just be making up stuff.
Yeah. Well, I
I
love
just
right
don't even
after
know where
that.
to
He
begin
got,
with that shit.
he got fact checked right after that with like the moderator saying there is no state in America where a baby that can be aborted after it's born. Like it's not legal anywhere. It never happens. Total bullshit.
Pew Research says that 93% of all abortions are in the first trimester.
Yeah. Yep.
93%.
Yep.
There are 0 abortions that are taking place in the 9th fucking month.
Yeah, unless
Zero.
it's something where the baby it doesn't have born without a brain, or has no heart,
Right.
or
But
it's
by
somewhere
by the 9th month, they
it's
should
not
know that
viable. They
already.
know that way before the 9th month. Exactly.
Yeah.
And this is a good comment by Becky. She says, I hate this slide. No one is killing babies. It's palliative care. For those of you who don't know, that is just end of life care, right?
Mhm.
The baby is going to pass. They knew it. They know it before the baby's born, or sometimes they don't, but 99% of the times they know that a baby that's not going to be viable outside of the womb. And it's just make the baby comfortable or whatever the case. Let the mom hold the baby. Let the family have some time with the baby, because it's probably going to take a few breaths and that's going to be it, or whatever the case. It may be a couple of hours in the earth. And unfortunate, what to me is so tragic about this is them making into a political issue some of the most tragic moments of people's life and women's life.
Thank you.
And turning that into a political issue, one of the most painful moments that a mother can go through, or a father, or family, and making that a political issue, such as was the case with the young man who the immigrant hit the school bus and the child died, and they tried to make that into a thing and use that against immigration. And the father came out and said, I wish that it was a 60-year-old white man that killed my son. I was like, that is deep.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you ever imagine a parent saying that and then saying maybe they would leave us alone?
Yeah, or stop using my son's death as your political arguing point against immigrants, right? He's like, stop my son's life. My son didn't lose his life for you to use him as a prop in your stupid campaign to demonize immigrants. Yeah.
And he was basically saying, keep my son's name out your mouth.
That's right.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
This didn't have anything to do with race or immigrants, to be honest. It had something to do with a reckless driver. And people, unfortunately, people die every day from reckless drivers and drunk drivers and stuff. Every day this happens, unfortunately, in this country. He's basically said, literally, keep my son's name out your mouth. It ain't got nothing to do with you nor your campaign. And I hate that for families that have had, and he's not the only one, multiple families have had to tell them that. Don't use my family. Don't use my tragedy. Don't use my crisis. Don't use my pain for your own purposes.
Exactly.
Yeah.
They don't care. Yeah. It's all about power. They don't care about your pain.
Just a point that I want to make, because she's been getting a lot of love lately. Liz Cheney has said that on national TV. They are killing babies after birth.
Oh my God.
Liz Cheney has said that.
Okay.
So
thank you.
she found a line.
I hope she's in repent mode from all that foolishness.
Yeah, but so Donald Trump is not the only Republican that's saying stupid shit that's demonstrably false about the so-called pro-life issue.
Yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Well,
I think our next clip is Kamala Harris taking his dumb ass to school.
It ain't hard to do.
Yeah, here we go.
But she did it.
Let's understand how we got here. Donald Trump hand-selected 3 members of the United States Supreme Court with the intention that they would undo the protections of Roe v. Wade. And they did exactly as he intended. And now in over 20 states, there are Trump abortion bans, which make it criminal for a doctor or nurse to provide health care. In one state, it provides prison for life. Trump abortion bans that make no exception even for rape and incest, which understand what that means. A survivor of a crime of violation to their body does not have the right to make a decision about what happens to their body next. That is immoral. And one does not have to abandon their faith or deeply held beliefs to agree. The government, and Donald Trump certainly, should not be telling a woman what to do with her body. I have talked with women around our country. You want to talk about this is what people wanted? Pregnant women who want to carry a pregnancy to term, suffering from a miscarriage, being denied care in an emergency room because the healthcare providers are afraid they might go to jail, and she's bleeding out in a car in the parking lot. Yep. She didn't want that. Her husband didn't want that. A 12 or 13-year-old survivor of incest being forced to carry a pregnancy to term. They don't want that. And I pledge to you, when Congress passes a bill to put back in place the protections of Roe v. Wade. As President of the United States, I will proudly sign it into law. But understand, if Donald Trump were to be reelected, he will sign a national abortion ban. Understand, in his Project 2025, there would be a national abortion, a monitor that would be monitoring your pregnancies, your miscarriages. I think the American people believe that certain freedoms, in particular the freedom to make decisions about one's own body, should not be made by the government.
That was beautiful. You know what I loved about that clip was that she said what is, as far as I know, I've never heard a Democrat say exactly what she did about abortion. And that's been one of my frustrations throughout, is that Republicans will say things like they're murdering babies, and Democrats will say it's a woman's choice. And both of those things, you know, okay, but one is that they're murdering children. Wow, that sounds horrible. And then you just say, well, you know, it's a woman's choice. Like, that's not an answer. So for her to actually go into the specifics and the details, to talk about, because of what's happened now with Roe v. Wade being overturned, that, and the examples she gave are real. This has literally happened, where a woman is sitting in the parking lot bleeding out because doctors and nurses are afraid, because of the laws in their state, that if they go in and they help her, that they could go to jail for an abortion. And so she can't go into the hospital and get care. The doctors and nurses won't see her and treat her. And this is happening, right? So I just love that she made it specific. And my favorite line was when she said, you don't have to abandon your faith to believe that the government doesn't, and certainly Donald Trump, do not have a right to tell a woman what she can do with her body. Exactly.
That was a good one.
Yeah.
Uh-oh, we can't hear you, Dylan.
You're muted. I don't know how that happened.
There you go.
There was a car coming by and I forgot
Okay.
it was real loud. She used the word immoral. And I thought that was a masterstroke, because it absolutely is. And those things have happened. We've read about it. A little girl had to go from Ohio to or from Indiana to another state because she was sexually abused and wanted to have an abortion. And, you know, she was the state attorney general of Indiana tried to sue them and all that stuff. I mean, it's monstrous. It's absolutely monstrous.
It is horrible.
Yeah. John Suarez had a comment. He said, so the woman is no longer a person when she has a fetus in her. It seems that way. It seems that way.
Yeah.
It seems like the fetus that's in her has more rights than she has, if you let these people tell it. What's that clown? He's a white nationalist. He's a young guy with dark hair. I can't think of his name. Anyways, he was Trump is one of the guys that Trump had a guest. He had him as a guest at Mar-a-Lago one time with
Nick Fuentes.
I think it's Nick Fuentes. It might be him or some.
Yeah, that's the absolute Nazi that he had at Mar-a-Lago. Yeah.
Yeah. Okay.
One of these guys, I want to be careful about attributing it to Nick Fuentes, but it could have been him. It's one of these staunch anti-abortion folks, and the question was put to him: what if your 10-year-old daughter got raped? Would you force her to endure that trauma to have that baby, or whatever? And he was like, she would. The baby's going to be born. She's going to have this baby.
Yeah.
And it was just the tone. And I was like, I hope he never has a daughter. If he does have a daughter, I hope nothing. I pray that God hand of protection be on that young lady.
Well,
and she never.
But here's the thing. Maybe if he did have a daughter, he would think about it differently. Like, oh, wait a minute, right? I don't want my daughter to be treated this way.
Maybe it would, but I don't. It might be the turning point, guy. Okay. I just thought, you know, these people, it doesn't have anything to do. They're separated. Their ideology is separated from God and the Spirit of God.
Mm-hmm.
Because I do not believe. I don't know the life he wants for his daughter. I'm going to tell you right now, I'm not going to let a rapist destroy my daughter's life or her body, because traumatizing her once is more than enough. Having to carry a baby that you did not ask for as a child. And I was 30 when I had my first child. And that told my body, clean up at 30. I ain't recovered yet from that. And I don't know any mother that does fully recover from that.
Mhm.
And you want to inflict that on your child? I had 2 C-sections. The area, if you're a mother and you're watching this, you probably know this. The area where I had my C-section is numb today. I have no feeling in those nerves.
And it probably will be
None.
for years. Yeah.
It's going to be numb forever. If you're a mother on here, you can chime in. That's 2 C-sections. I'm numb there to this day. The stretch marks to this day. The hormones out of whack to this day. Your body is never the same after that. And can you imagine having to go through that involuntarily? First, you got forced into a sexual encounter that you did not ask for. And then you get forced to carry a child that you did not ask for. And then you get forced to have the child that you did not ask for. And even if you give it up for adoption, you still will carry the guilt of doing that. And you didn't ask for that either.
Yeah.
These people are lunatics, and I don't care what anybody say. It ain't got shit to do with God or scripture or nothing the hell else. Because I refuse to believe that that's the life that God has chosen for my child. And by saying that that child has to come into the earth, you're also saying, because it was God's will, you're also saying it was God's will for my daughter to get raped. And fuck you.
Yeah.
God didn't have shit to do with that. And he didn't have shit to do with any other rape that ever happened.
That's right.
That's right. That's right.
Yeah. Well, in fact, we had another clip that is right after that. And I think this is one of the ones I picked. I want you to pay very close attention to something that Trump says in his response. See if you can catch what he says that I think is kind of a shock.
Back in the States, and I did something that nobody thought was possible. The states are now voting. What she says is an absolute lie. And as far as the abortion ban, no, I'm not in favor of abortion ban, but it doesn't matter because this issue has now been taken over by the states.
Would you?
Yeah. So what he said was, I'm not in favor of an abortion ban.
Yeah.
So
I'm not in favor of an abortion ban.
Yeah, the Republican nominee in a public television debate with evangelical pro-life Christians cheering him on just said, I am not in favor of a national abortion ban.
Somebody needs to do a clip of all the flips he has done on just that one topic.
As a former Republican, right? Man, if George Bush had said that, if Ronald Reagan had said that, I mean, it would have been like, wait a minute, what? You're running for the Republican, candidacy for president, and you are willing to say out loud on national television to all your supporters, all your pro-life supporters, you are not in favor of an abortion ban.
Yeah,
wow. Is this 1968?
Yeah, it's crazy. And so
at 68, that would have flown.
That's right. That's right. So I said this last night on John Fugelsang's show. It's like, again, when I was a Republican, it was like, well, I can never vote for a Democrat. Well, why not? Well, because, they're pro-abortion. I can't vote for someone that's going to, that's in favor, that's pro-choice, right? I can never vote for a pro-choice candidate. And now here it is, and Republican voters, evangelical pro-life Republican voters, are about to vote for a candidate who has publicly said he is not in favor of a national abortion ban. Yes, you can vote for one of those people because you're about to do it.
And you will.
And you probably will because you don't care about that. You really don't.
We got to move on. But I saw a meme the other day that I shared on my page that it said the same ones that will force the 12-year-old or the rapist to have the baby, the same one that'll call them a welfare mom after the baby's born.
Yeah.
They don't give a damn. They don't give a damn about these children after they're born. They don't care who's taking care of them. They don't care if they get shot down in the street. They don't care if a police officer choked the life out. They don't give a shit.
No.
Just have these babies because we said so.
Yeah, that's right.
And also, you white girls, stop getting abortions because it's getting too goddamn brown around here.
Yeah.
Yeah.
What's the next clip?
All right. So our next clip is when Kamala Harris, unbeknownst to everybody, she brought in a big sharp stick and nobody saw it. But she pulled it out right now and poked him right in the ass with it.
This is where it really starts to get good.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And when it's not the subject that is being raised. And I'm going to actually do something really unusual. And I'm going to invite you to attend one of Donald Trump's rallies because it's a really interesting thing to watch. You will see during the course of his rallies, he talks about fictional characters like Hannibal Lecter. He will talk about windmills cause cancer. And what you will also notice is that people start leaving his rallies early out of exhaustion and boredom.
Right there.
And I will tell you, the one thing you will not hear him talk about is you.
Ooh,
Woo.
Ooh.
Did
Mic
you
drop.
see him physically?
yeah.
You watch it. He
His
starts to
butt
collapse
cheeks was
in on
just
himself like
clenching.
a fucking star that's about
He
to
swallowed his boxes and just straight up his booty hole when she did that.
Oh, and when
I
she
mean-
said that, if you had been in my living room, when she said that, I was like, there it is. That's the strategy.
Flip the
She's
switch.
baiting him.
Hit the 150.
And he took the bait, hook, line, and sinker. Oh my gosh. And once she had him on the hook, that was it for the rest of
Yeah,
the
she
debate.
wasn't gonna let him go, and that's when she started toying with him like a cat with a mouse that
Yes.
just wants to play a while.
Even Fox
Drag
News
this
said
shit
that she baited him and he took
Yeah.
it every time.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Every network. We'll deal with that a little bit later. But what that was the turn. He fell off and he was like that commercial, that Life Alert commercial. Help! I've fallen and I can't get up. He fell off and he could not get back. He couldn't get it together. He could not get his shit together after that. She mentioned that. She mentioned that crowd size, bruh. She mentioned that crowd size.
like Obama.
He could not. He could not gather himself to save his life after that.
Oh.
That crowd size, bruh.
That was it.
That was it. They're
That was
walking out.
And
She found the
That's
soft
when you
spot.
saw the narcissistic injury.
Mm,
Go look it up, Google it.
yeah.
Because a narcissist can't handle being laughed at and ridiculed
Yeah.
and hearing that. And I've seen pictures of his crowds of late, and
Oh,
sometimes you see people yawning and shit,
Yes.
and
Yes.
people leaving, and
They're right
lots of
behind
empty.
him. Yeah.
And he said nobody comes to her rallies. My guy, she had 2 full arenas on
Yes,
the
but
same
leading up
night.
to the
On the
debate
same night.
and went
one of
to
those
a
arenas-
rally the
same
next
night.
day.
Yeah, and one of those arenas
Cool.
was the one he couldn't fill.
Right. That, oh my God. That
That
was
really
another
got
one of those 5D chess moves that she did. But
Yeah.
yeah, I mean, that was brilliant. And that leads it because this
Yes.
is when he really started to become unhinged, even though he was repeating his xenophobic bullshit.
Well, hold on. Before
and-
you play this clip, though, let me remind people that the crazy thing you're about to hear him say is a response to the question, why did you block the bipartisan immigration bill?
Mm.
Yes,
So
exactly.
that's what they were talking about.
It's
Kamala
hard to
Harris
even
said-
it's hard to know what the question is when you listen.
Yeah. So I want to remind you, this is the context. Kamala Harris just said that, hey, it's because of you, there was a bipartisan immigration bill and you blocked it. And since you blocked it, all the fentanyl you're talking about is coming across the border. All the crime is happening. All these bad things are happening. But it's your fault, Donald, because you blocked that bill. And then the moderators asked Trump, could you explain to us why you blocked that bill? And then this is his response.
Yeah.
To our country and look at what's happening to the towns all over the United States. And a lot of towns don't want to talk. It's not going to be Aurora or Springfield. A lot of towns don't want to talk about it because they're so embarrassed by it. In Springfield, they're eating the dogs, the people that came in. They're eating the cats. They're eating the pets of the people that live there. And this is what's happening in our country. And it's a shame. As far as the rallies are concerned, as far as the reason they go is they like what I say. They want to bring our country back. They want to make America great again. It's a very simple phrase, make America great again. She's destroying this country. And if she becomes president, this country doesn't have a chance of success. Not only success, we'll end up being Venezuela on steroids.
Yeah. So
Oh my gosh.
it's his fault
Yes.
that the border legislation didn't get taken care of,
Right.
but it's Biden's fault and Harris's fault that the results of that are happening.
Yes.
So this is again him doing the thing where
yes,
I could do no wrong,
Yes.
but I caused this problem. And she said he's running on a problem, not on a solution.
That's right, Bill. Yeah, that was a great line. She goes, he would rather run on a problem, right, than fix the problem. Yeah.
Yes,
And-
yeah.
here's something that a lot of people in America don't know because geography is not really taught in American schools. Haiti is a Caribbean country. Right on the other side of the border is Dominican Republic. And Haiti was the first Black republic in the world. They overthrew France. Toussaint Louverture and Alexandre Dumas, the real account of Monte Cristo, overthrew Bonaparte's French occupying forces and set up a Black republic. And white supremacists have not fucking forgiven Haiti since 1804. Because they need to thank the
Haitians though for that, because we wouldn't have a United States if that didn't happen. We got the Louisiana Purchase behind that,
that's right.
And some other things. They need to thank the Haiti for that.
That's right.
But they were scared to death of slave revolts in the American South at the same time, and so, and Haiti's one of the poorest countries in the world that U.S. economic policy has intentionally suppressed wages in that country. Secretary Hillary Clinton was the Secretary of State when that happened, and I'm not saying that it's all her fault, but they intentionally kept wages below 50 cents an hour.
Wow.
For people to make Hanes t-shirts and shit.
Damn.
Back when Hillary Clinton was Secretary of State. This is part and parcel of U.S. foreign policy and capitalistic neocolonialism. Before I go too far on a rant.
The other thing too, though, is those are legal immigrants, but that doesn't matter. All you have to do is say immigrant. It don't matter. No one in the cult of Trump is gonna be trying to differentiate between legal or illegal. Okay, right. The brown people are coming to get the Black jobs, and the Black people are coming to get white people's pets. It don't matter if they legal, illegal. You know what I'm saying? Brown folk coming for Black jobs, Black immigrants coming to get cat. They're coming to get the run spot run now. Coming to get, you better hide your dog, hide your cat. The Black immigrants is coming. Okay, they're coming to get them. It doesn't matter, and that's how crazy what's crazy is he knows that works. You would have never, if he didn't think that would work. I don't think he believes that shit. But if he didn't think that would work, he wouldn't say it. He knows that works.
Right.
He knows there's somebody who wants to hear it.
Because of all of the political violence that is happening in Haiti and constantly is happening in Haiti because the U.S. can't stop meddling and because, it's just an unstable place. So these are not illegal immigrants, as December was saying. All right. And then my mouth fucking dropped open on this one. So roll it because it's bizarre.
Actually have the endorsement of 200 Republicans who have formerly worked with President Bush, Mitt Romney, and John McCain, including the endorsement of former Vice President Dick Cheney and Congress member Liz Cheney. And if you want to really know the inside track on who the former president is, if he didn't make it clear already, just ask people who have worked with him. His former chief of staff, a 4-star general, has said he has contempt for the Constitution of the United States. His former national security advisor has said he is dangerous and unfit. His former Secretary of Defense has said the nation, the Republic, would never survive another Trump term. And when we listen to this kind of rhetoric, when the issues that affect the American people are not being addressed, I think the choice is clear in this election.
Boom. That was a huge bomb. Just.
There's a reason why 40 out of 44 of the people who worked in his administration are not endorsing him. There's a reason why they ever needed to hire one J.D. Vance.
That's right. Yeah.
Because y'all tried to hang the last VP and he said, hell, y'all go to hell. I ain't on this ticket. I ain't voting for Trump. I ain't campaigning for Trump. He probably gonna write his wife's name in there.
Yeah, when you lose
why he's got a new VP.
You got to work hard to lose somebody that bad.
Oh yeah.
For real.
Do you remember the clips when Mike Pence, back when Trump was president, there would be times there would be at some public event and Pence would be standing behind him and Trump would be talking. Pence would have this look on his face of just such love and joy. And
Oh,
just
yeah.
like smiling. It's like, no, I actually posted a meme one time. I did a screenshot of that and I said, find someone who loves you the way Mike Pence loves Donald Trump. Because it was just like, oh,
Yeah.
come on. He loved that guy. And yeah, you're right. So for Pence,
And then Trump turned on him, like
Yeah.
he turns on all his
That's right.
wives.
yeah, and she
Right,
that's
because
such a great point.
everybody's a pawn to Trump
That's
in
exactly
a transactional game.
That's exactly right. Yeah. So we want to go on to the next clip. This is the crazy one.
Yeah, this is the crazy one where my mouth just dropped open and I was just like, what
Yeah.
the fuck?
Another
We should
crazy
stop
moment.
being surprised at anything this fool
Yeah,
says.
this is at least the third crazy moment I think so far.
She did things that nobody would ever think of. Now she wants to do transgender operations on illegal aliens that are in prison. This is a radical left liberal that would do this. She wants to confiscate your guns, and she will never allow fracking in Pennsylvania. If she won the election, fracking in Pennsylvania will end on.
No, that's just insane.
You know those kits that you can buy of refrigerator magnets that have
Yeah.
one word on them?
Yes, I have some of those
And
on
you
my
can
fridge.
just make up random crazy
Yeah.
fucking sentences and leave them for the next person to read.
Yeah.
It's like he was playing fascist bingo
Yeah.
with that one.
Yeah.
See, I need some trans over here. I need some illegal aliens over here. I need some prisons. Okay, here it
Immigrants.
is. She wants transgender surgeries for illegal aliens in prison.
Being able to have something to
Oh
Like a
my
Rubik's
gosh.
Cube.
What?
Yeah, that was insane. I mean, everybody's talking about the eating dogs and cats line because that's crazy. But you're right. I think that one may be even crazier because it's
I
like,
mean, it's just
what are you talking about? Yeah, just transgender surgeries on illegal immigrants in prison. Wow. Yeah,
yeah,
that's
because the medical care in prison is so awesome.
oh, it's so
And,
good.
and
That's the reason why I want to get arrested so I can go to prison and get my sex change operation.
yeah, jeez.
Lord have mercy.
Heaven help us, because there's about 30% of the country that probably fucking believe that.
If he says it, this is what's scary. There's a percentage of people that if he said it, it's true, right? It doesn't matter if they watch that debate and maybe personally when they watch it, they go, oh man, he did really bad. I don't know. It was not good. But then he says he won, right? That it doesn't matter. It's the same with the election. He says he won. People will believe it because he said it. And so
And it's
that's crazy
almost,
stuff.
they say have the same attitude toward him that they have in these fundamentalist circles. The Bible said it, that settles it.
Yeah, I don't want to think anymore.
I'm not going to question. I'm not going to ask a question about
Yeah.
why this part contradicts that part or why
That's
this. I'm not. If Trump said it, that settles it.
Yeah, that's
Yeah.
exactly right.
That
And
settles it.
this is where critical thinking comes in, and you get critical thinking skills by taking humanities classes
Yeah.
like history and literature
Yeah.
and religion and stuff like that.
Philosophy,
And that's the
logic.
thing.
Yeah.
And philosophy, yeah. And that's the kind of stuff that they keep wanting to cut because they don't want people to think critically. This is a calculated effort to keep America dumb again.
Yeah, that's exactly right. All right.
Real
All
quick
right.
before we go to the next video, Jackie Smith said that last night I gave a verse on John Fugelsang's show, and would I mind giving that again? I will gladly give that again. That was Galatians 3, and it was 28 and 29. It says, there is neither Jew. I think this is the one. Let me know if this is not the one that you remember hearing.
Yeah, that's the one.
There is neither Jew nor Greek. There is neither slave nor free. There is neither male nor female. For you are all one in Christ Jesus. And if you are Christ, then you are Abraham's seed and heirs according to the promise.
Yeah.
And that is a scripture that I gave in response to one of our callers calling in and saying that his church was split and people were leaving because some of the church were LGBTQ supportive and some weren't. And he was having a hard time because he was LGBTQ supportive and he was losing friends and things like that. And I just told him, look, you got to go with the Spirit of God on that.
Yeah.
The Spirit of God says to love. Love is the fulfillment of the law.
That's right.
And if you do that, then you have fulfilled the scriptures. That's what the scripture. I don't have any business trying to send somebody to a heaven or to a hell because I didn't create or own or manage now one of them. Too many Christians spend too much time trying to direct traffic to one of two places they ain't got shit to do with. They do well to make sure they get to the one they trying to get to. And we can talk about whether or not either one of them exists after this life. That's a whole nother study. Okay. I don't believe this is my last time in the earth, but I don't know when my next time will be or where I'm going to be after this. But I'm going to tell you what I'm going to do while I'm here is live like Christ, love like Christ, treat people like Christ treated them. If you take the life of Christ out the Bible and throw the rest of it away, that's enough for you to build a template for your life, for how to treat people and how to walk through this earth respectfully with love, salt, and light. Just the life of Christ alone is enough to walk upright before God. They use the rest of it to try to control people, and they've done that before the beginning, and they'll do that until the end. That's why you got to have a relationship with God for yourself, because God will tell you, you don't have any business hating on people. God will tell you, I love that person just as much as I love you. God will tell you, if you can't look at them and see God like you look at yourself and see God, then you've never seen me and you don't know me. And get away from me, you evildoer. If you're really connected with God, the Holy Spirit will tell you what your heart condition is supposed to be toward the LGBTQ community and anybody else that doesn't live, love, vote, act, wear the colors you do, eat the kind of food you do. You want to eat your chicken with no seasoning salt. I ain't sending you to hell for that. Okay? You didn't put no smoked turkey in your green beans. You ain't going to hell for that.
You ain't coming to the barbecue either.
Your cheese hard and dry. Hey, you ain't getting condemned to going to hell for that. I'm loving you like Jesus told me to.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
I ain't talking about your macaroni and cheese. I don't know what your macaroni and cheese doing. I'm just saying you ain't going to hell for it.
All right. The next clip is watch Donald Trump's face when she lands the blow.
This is a good one. Body blow right here.
Donald Trump was fired by 81 million people. So let's be clear about that. And clearly he is having a very difficult time processing that. But we cannot afford to have a president of the United States who attempts, as he did in the past, to upend the will of the voters in a free and fair election. And I'm going to tell you that I have traveled the world as vice president of the United States. And world leaders are laughing at Donald Trump. I have talked with military leaders, some of whom work with you, and they say you're a disgrace. And when you then talk in this way in a presidential debate and deny what over and over again are court cases you have lost because you did, in fact, lose that election, it leads one to believe that perhaps we do not have in the candidate to my right the temperament or the ability to not be confused about fact. That's deeply troubling, and the American people deserve better.
It's definitely deeply troubling that he started to repeat the big lie after he was told by the moderators that you said it and it was a lie, and then you said, no, I did lose, and now you're saying, oh, that was sarcastic. I heard the video. We played it.
Oh, yeah. He admitted he lost.
There was no sarcasm there at all.
No.
Because I recognized me some sarcasm. And there was no sarcasm in that. Yeah, we came up a little short and and all that. But did you see when she said fired by 81 million, he kind of did this weird thing. And then when she said the military leaders, he just, his face again, man, his nonverbal communication was saying, oh God, oh fuck, she's beating the shit out of me.
No, the split screen was really great because like when he was saying batshit crazy stuff and you got her reaction, just laughing and her and like putting her hand on her chin and like, really, that was great. And then the same thing was when she was talking and getting those great shots in, as someone made a point about you pointed out that Donald Trump never looked at her. He never turned his head and looked at her. He would point to her. He never looked at her during the whole thing. And when she would talk, he would just have this face, and you would see in his face, like he knew he was getting his butt kicked. He knew he was being just destroyed. And it's like I said this last night on John Fugelsang. It was a masterclass, right? And so she's saying, hey, all these other world leaders, they know how easily you can be manipulated. And she's proving in real time how easy it is to manipulate him because she's doing it on the debate that you are watching right there. She is showing you, look how easy it is for me to manipulate him. I just mentioned his crowd size. I mentioned that he got fired by 81 million people. I mentioned that his former people don't like him and have called him all these horrible names. Yes. And see, look at that. Look how he reacts. Look how he spins out of control.
She literally gave a master class.
Yes.
And just how easy it is to throw him. He just did. And he couldn't, he could not recover from that.
No.
His whole body language and energy shifted when she said he got fired by 81. He was like, he could not take that. And she said, that's hard for him to process. And the concerned face without being concerned is so hard to master. And she got that thing. But there's a whole other conversation going on in these comments because I started talking about food. And then Care Bear, I think it was Care Bear that said that we got to forgive the raisins and the potato salad. And Matthew said no. And she said, thank you, Lord. Thank God. I'm just saying, you know, with them intercession, fasting, and prayer, we will have to probably forgive them. We ain't got to eat it because, you know, you got to hate the sin and love the sinner. You got to hate the sin and love the sinner. Right. You ain't got to consume the potato salad, but you got to forgive them for putting raisins in there. And then you got to pray that spirit of fucking food up off of them. You got to pray it off.
Pray the grapes away.
You got to
pray the grapes away.
Yeah.
So we do. Felix Garza said, in my household, I get told I'm going to hell for saying pizza and pineapple go. Look, pizza and pineapple go together real bad. I guess we're going to hell.
No, I like what are you talking. No, I like pineapple and pizza. Come on.
Yeah, then we just gonna go on. We just gonna be hot together then.
All right.
But yeah, he could not look at her at all. He didn't look at it, and he was shook when she shook his hand.
That's right. That's
how far removed he is.
The only contact they had at the beginning, she forced him to look at her and shake her hand, and then that was it. He never looked at her again.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
What we got next?
Is
this your clip?
I think this is a clip for December.
This is the moment where the whole entire world gotta. We gonna just play the clip. Run the footage.
She almost quoted December Rose. Put it that way.
And the president at the time invited the Taliban to Camp David, a place of storied significance for us as Americans, a place where we honor the importance of American diplomacy, where we invite and receive respected world leaders. And this
motherfucker,
former president, invited them
later
to Camp David because he does not again appreciate the role and responsibility of the President of the United States to be commander-in-chief with a level of respect.
Wait, rewind that back right quick. I promise you that was the most pregnant pause I ever seen.
Oh, yes.
We ain't got to run it back because we're running out of time. But
she code switched right in the middle of a sentence.
Her face said everything it needed to say. And everyone in the country. That was such a unifying I don't think y'all understand that was actually a kumbaya moment for the whole country.
Yes.
I think everybody in the country. That's like when the choir director, when you singing a song and the person on the stage stops singing because everybody in the crowd know the lyrics and they let the crowd sing.
That's right.
That was an international invitation for the United States and the whole world to say, motherfucker.
Yeah.
Okay, I heard it in my ears. I heard Samuel L. Jackson say it. I heard Big Mama say it. I heard Kendrick Lamar say it.
Yeah.
I even heard Megan, Haley, Becky, and Hannah say it. I heard everybody say it.
Yeah.
She said this motherfucker. And it go right in that spot. I promise you it go right there on point. This motherfucker invited the Taliban to Camp David. Can you imagine what would have happened if any other president did that?
Right.
Obama had done that shit. Oh my God.
A tan suit was enough for them to act like he should be impeached.
No, Obama committed the most of the. I mean, they broke the news broke when he had a tan suit on.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if Barack Hussein Obama
Invited the Taliban.
invited the Taliban to
Yeah.
Camp David. Can you imagine these folks would be setting themselves on fire on Fox News?
Yes.
But this motherfucker,
Yeah. That was beautiful.
he did that. They just looked over that like they look over every goddamn thing he do.
Yeah, that's right.
She said it. Look, y'all, look, we heard you, Kamala Harris, Madam VP, Madam President elect in training coming up in November. We heard you. The whole world heard you. And I promise you, we didn't have no problem filling in the gap for you. We stood in the gap for you. I was here stepping in the gap, interceding on your behalf. And I, like Key and Peele, I was your this motherfucker translator. I stood in the gap for you, sis. I put it out there. And we all did. We are right there with you. That's this motherfucker moment for today. Brought to you by one, the Kamala Harris.
That's right. Yeah, this motherfucker moment, yes, brought to you by Kamala Harris. That was so beautiful.
I will gladly be Kamala's anger translator. I will gladly do that.
Yes.
But I want her to win the presidency, so she don't want me up.
Yeah,
That's right.
They can't handle the truth. They can't handle all this right here.
right.
What's our next clip?
Well, this is where Trump showed that he's an ignorant racist again.
It don't take
He's
much.
the head
She
of
got
the
plenty
Taliban. He
opportunities.
is still the head of the Taliban. And I told Abdul, don't do it anymore. You do it anymore, you're going to have problems. And he said, why
We
do
don't
you
have to
send
be
me a
up there.
picture of my house? I said, you're going to have to figure that out, Abdul. And for
No,
So
no.
just-
Abdul.
just
Who's
for-
Abdul?
just for general knowledge sake, the head of the Taliban has a very different name than Abdul. I think that Abdul's probably he saw that on the Simpsons or something.
Yeah.
But not everybody that's from Afghanistan is named Abdul.
Right. The
I
guy's real
can't
name.
remember the guy's name, but
I
it's
just
much
looked it up.
longer than that.
No, I just looked it up. It's very hard to pronounce. It's Hibatullah Akhundzada or Akhundzada, something like
That's
that.
close.
Yeah,
We
it's not
ain't
Abdul.
gonna do it right. I'm sure.
Abdul
It looks
is
like
not in
Hibatullah
that name.
Akhundzada.
I
It's
think-
showing the hell like what it ain't is
I think
Abdul. Where
Somebody
did he even
probably-
pull that from? The
somebody
line,
probably
the
told-
Aladdin. Where did he pull that from?
Yeah, somebody probably told Trump the guy's real name, and then all Trump heard was Abdul. Right?
whatever.
It just came over Abdul.
It's Abdul. Yeah. Okay.
Yes.
He cannot fucking help himself.
No.
And for
Can
the
you
people who
imagine
still
just making
can't
up
see
a
that he's
name,
a
an
racist,
Arab name, pulling one out the air? Abdul. I told Abdul. I showed Abdul a picture of his house. And he
And
said,
then-
"What does
and
that
then he
mean?"
goes
He's like,
with
"You're
the-
gonna have to figure that out." He made all that shit up.
the mafia threat.
Yeah.
Yeah.
This is supposed to be an international negotiation between a country and an organization, and he's pretending to be a mafia tough guy. Figure it out, Abdul. We're coming after you.
Figure it out.
Figure your house. Yeah, we're coming for you.
You're a
Felix
clown.
Garza said the HBCUs are out here going crazy. Yes. And the AKA's got something to say because he done said something about she went to a sorority party. Something
Yeah.
she was, I don't know what, he don't want the smoke with the sororities with the Divine Nine. I promise you, he don't want that smoke.
Well, now he's got to mess with Taylor Swift. The Swifties are coming after him. See?
Speaking of Taylor Swift, the vote.gov, which is the registering to vote site, finding out where your vote site, finding out, where's your precinct, all that. Their average traffic, this came up on the news today. Their average traffic to that site around election time is 30,000, in traffic wise.
Yeah.
Since the folks who have visited that site as a link from her post. So they're tracking people landing on vote.gov after clicking on her post.
Yeah.
400,000, over
Yeah.
400,000.
That's beautiful.
Can you imagine? And
if all
can you
those
imagine
people
if every
registered to
one
vote,
of those people registered to vote and voted for Kamala?
boom.
Can you imagine?
Yeah.
The vote the last time electorally, I'm not talking about the popular vote because he lost the popular vote last time, he'll lose it this time. That's not what I'm talking about. The electoral college vote was won by very slim margins. 400,000 is enough to win in the electoral college alone. I'm just saying.
Yeah. That's
They
right.
mad. They big mad. They put on a cape and be super mad today
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That's
about
right.
that endorsement that Trump faked like he got but didn't get.
That's right.
Exactly. Yeah.
He is definitely on the Lord's work.
Okay, you just reminded me. I totally had forgotten about this. During the debate, I caught it, and then I'd forgotten that this happened. So I don't think we got a clip of it. During the debate, when he says, "I probably got shot."
Oh, I
I
missed that.
probably took a bullet to the head because of the things that you've been saying about me.
I probably took a bullet to the head. Not that I did. I probably did. Meaning he's leaving room that, yeah, it wasn't a bullet. He did not get hit by a bullet, but he couldn't say, I got hit by a bullet. He had to say, I probably got hit by a bullet.
And he had to blame it on Harris and Biden, saying that he was a danger to democracy because anybody can look at this and see that that's what's true. So somebody told the truth and clearly.
Right. And hey, if you think that that's a bad thing, then, like we were saying before, as we were saying it jokingly, like some politicians should introduce the Protect Donald Trump assault rifle ban, because we want to make sure that never happens again to Donald Trump, because Donald Trump got shot at with an AR-15. So let's have a Protect Donald Trump gun control reform bill. That would be great.
So our next clip, and this is going to surprise everybody because he almost never does this, but Trump shows that he's a racist.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
You have it on tape. Okay. Here we go.
I don't care. You make a big deal out of something. I couldn't care less. Whatever she wants to be, okay with me.
But those were your words. So
I don't know. I mean, all I can say is I read where she was not black, that she put out. And I'll say that. And then I read that she was black, and that's okay. Either one was okay with me. That's up to her.
Oh, yeah.
Okay, so did you notice that pause?
Mm-hmm.
She's not black. Pause. She put out, I'll say that. I guarantee you that was a she got here by sleeping her way to the top moment that he just tried to slip in there under the radar.
Yeah. Yeah. Mm-hmm.
I didn't catch that.
She put out
when he said it live, I went, holy fuck. He went there.
Yes.
And but it was just right there in the middle of that. Oh, she's not a black. She's not your blackest friend like December Rose.
Yeah.
Even though she went to an HBCU and and her father is black.
Yeah.
I'm still waiting for somebody to figure out when that dude turned orange. I mean, come on, man.
Thank you. We need to look into that. When did he turn orange?
Someone should look into
that.
Someone should look into that.
All right. So
are you taking too many vitamins or something?
I like that she flipped that on him, and and that was like an invitation for her to go down the laundry list of racial issues that he has had, from the Central Park exonerated 5 to being a real estate agent who was investigated because they would not rent to black families.
Yes.
And going down the line, I love how he opened the door and she walked through that magnificently, and he had no answer for that. One missed opportunity from her or the moderators, or who, not really the moderators, because that, that's not really their job, but her. I wish that she would, because there are a faction of black men that are infatuated with Trump for whatever reason. I wish when it came to that she would have said, maybe you didn't intend to call for the execution of 5 innocent black men because, they weren't exonerated yet at the time. But all these years later, you have an opportunity on national TV to apologize to them for that. Would you like to take the opportunity to apologize to them for that?
Yeah.
I promise you he would not have.
No.
I wish
and one of them is
that they would have taken the opportunity to put his racist orange ass on the spot right then and there. You can take it back. You can take it back if you didn't mean it. Take it back. I bet you he would not have. He would not have. He can't, because he cannot admit being wrong, and he cannot admit when he loses. 2 things he cannot do.
That's right.
Yeah. And one of the Central Park 5 is like a New York assemblyman or city councilman or something like that now, right?
Yeah, that's right. Yeah, well, he kind of doubled down on it. He said, "Oh, they confessed,"
which
is not true. They did not plead guilty in court. They gave confessions which were coerced, and they got a lawyer. The parents came in and got a lawyer after the police had coerced them. And
Yeah,
then
after
they
they
pled
bullied
not
him.
guilty. That was their plea.
Yeah, yeah. And so can you imagine? He has had so many opportunities to clean that up. And I for one, as a Black woman raising a Black son with Black brothers and a Black father, as Black as I am, I, for one, do not understand any Black man's infatuation with this man.
Yeah.
Any.
Yeah.
I don't get it. Now, you can vote for who you want to vote for. I'm not going to judge you. I'm personally saying, as a person walking around in Black skin in these United States, having heard what this man says out of his mouth about Black people, I don't get it. Because this seemed like a man that y'all would punch in the goddamn mouth if he was somebody else. I don't get it. But hey, do you, boo? This man wouldn't spit on your Black ass if you was on fire. He would not give you a job. He would not rent a property to you.
No.
He would not want to see any one of his daughters, granddaughters with a Black man. Okay? He don't fuck with y'all like y'all fuck with him.
Yeah.
But if you want to keep fucking with him, go on, keep eating the Coke cake. Do what you do, boo. It's your world. Do what you do. He don't give a fuck about you. Let me tell you what, and all these other Black men that's whining about Kamala Harris doing her goddamn job as an attorney general, I hear you. But if you got a felony, I bet you your Black ass ain't finna see the White House. If you got 5 children by 3 different baby mamas, I bet you your Black ass not gonna see the White House. If you cheated on all your wives, including the current one while she was pregnant, I bet you your Black ass ain't gonna see the White House. If you had 35 checks that you wrote in the White House and got 35 felonies, I bet you your Black ass wouldn't be see the White House. If you sexually assaulted a woman in a dressing room in a department store and had to pay her millions of dollars because you couldn't keep her fucking name out your goddamn mouth, I bet you your Black ass wouldn't see the White House. If you scammed people all over the place, opened up a fake university and was running all kinds of scams with all kinds of shell companies, and the state of New York banned your Black ass from doing business and fined you $400 million, I bet you your Black ass wouldn't see the White House. That's all I got to say about that. But keep on doing what you do.
I think what December's saying is that the Orange Menace is somehow, though he is orange, he's experiencing some major league white privilege.
Yeah.
And systemic racism is
helping
a
them.
thing.
But do what you do, boo. It's your word. Do what you do.
That's right. We've got one clip left, and it just shows just how fast Trump really works.
As good as it can be run.
So just a yes or no, you still do not have a plan.
I have concepts of a plan. I'm not president right now.
That's the T-shirt right there. That's everyone's going to be selling these T-shirts.
I have
right
concepts of a plan, and I should be your president.
That phrase is going to live on for decades beyond this. People are going to be using that in every context, right? Someone's going to say, "Hey, did you go to pick up the groceries? Did you get what I told you to pick up at the grocery store?" I had a concept of picking it up, right? It's going to be a thing for a long time.
Or you're the child that it's time for to give your social studies report, and the teacher asks you ready to make a report. I had concepts as a report.
I had a concept of writing that report.
Failed.
Remember when he was president, though, he kept saying, "I'm going to release my health care plan. I'm going to release my health care plan."
He said, in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks.
And it was always 2 weeks.
And he was president for 4 fucking years. And now he's been not president for 4 fucking years.
Yeah.
And so he's had 8 years.
Yeah.
And he's still at the concept of a plan stage.
I'm at the concept stage, yes. Almost at the concept stage.
Good God. Does he work with Elon Musk to design fucking Cybertrucks? Because that looks like the concept of a thing that shouldn't be a thing.
That does look like a moving concept.
Yes.
It does. It does. The slides. Okay. I don't know why I thought we have a couple slides that I want to cover, and we're gonna wrap up and get out of here. So this is some posts from Truth Social where Trump announced today he's not going to debate her again, which y'all saw this coming.
Yeah.
Y'all saw this coming.
I'm going to pretend to be shocked.
What?
This man lives in an alternative universe.
He
He
doesn't
says
want
when
to
a
do this
prize
again.
fighter loses a fight, the first words out of his mouth is, "I want a rematch."
Yeah.
Polls clearly show. I don't know. It's everybody is saying, people are saying this man always got somewhere he's pulling some information from. Polls clearly show that I won the debate against Comrade Kamala Harris, the Democrats' radical left candidate on Tuesday night. Listen, and then you go down to the bottom. He says she was a no-show at the Fox debate. I don't know what did y'all know that Fox had a debate that she
No,
didn't
there
show up
was
to?
no
I didn't
debate.
know that.
No.
There
Did y'all
was
know
no
that?
Fox debate.
Okay, I didn't
Yeah.
know that. And she should focus on what she should have done during the last almost 4 years. He need to focus on what he should do about all these lawsuits and all these cases and about his ass being on his way to prison or wherever they're going. He ain't going to prison. He ain't going because that's that white privilege for you. He ain't going nowhere near prison. If he was anybody else, he wouldn't be anywhere near the White House. But you know, it is what it is.
Yeah.
And then he says, Neil Cavuto, Fox's lowest rated anchor, is one of the worst on television. I actually prefer the losers at CNN and MSNBC. This is a grown ass man, baby, having a tantrum on social media.
Yeah.
Because if you actually tell the truth, you're his enemy.
Mm-hmm.
I promise you, when he won, he was singing Neil Cavuto's praise and everybody else over there. But when he loses, it's an alternate universe. It didn't happen. And whoever you are, whether you're Fox News or MSNBC, if you tell the truth, you're his instant enemy and you shouldn't have a job.
Yep.
That's right.
This is the
That's right.
tantrum that he's throwing on Truth Social. The next slide that I want to show you, and this is the people, this is the man people want to be their president.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if any other candidate, not just president, senator, congressman, whatever, if this was the kind of shit that they were posting on their social media? These are AI generated photos that he is reposting or posting on Truth Social. This is a man that's running for president
So for
of the
those who are
United
listening,
States. Go
for
ahead.
those who are, but so we're just real quick. For those who are listening to the podcast, and you can't see the video. One of the screenshots is a picture, an AI generated, a very obviously AI generated picture of Donald Trump running away from a mob of immigrants, Haitian immigrants, I assume, who are chasing him. Although one of them's wearing a red hat, which is weird, holding a cat. He's rescuing a cat, but the cat is wearing glasses.
Make it make sense, Lord. Make it make sense. And it's the
wearing
black
glasses.
immigrants chasing him.
Yeah, the black immigrants are chasing him, and he's saving the cat.
The
So
cat
vote
with
for-
glasses.
Vote for Trump and save the cats.
Yes.
Come on.
And then he has some kittens. This is the man running for president of the United States, y'all.
Yes.
Kittens with a sign that says, "Don't let them eat us. Vote for Trump." Then he's got a picture of Elon Musk.
Yeah.
I don't know what the hell's going on here.
I really don't get
He's
this.
got a leather jacket on and a gold chain with some black sunglasses, talking
Looking
about he's
cool.
a DOGE, the Department
Well,
of
that's
Government.
that's
Efficiency.
Elon Musk cyber, or what do you call it, cryptocurrency,
Oh,
but
yeah.
he's changed the name to Department of Government
got it.
whatever
Help me
it is.
understand.
Be-
Okay. So
Because-
that's cryptocurrency, the DOGE, but he's
I
changed
did
it to
not know
Department
that.
of Government
See?
Efficiency.
I did not.
Yeah,
know.
so they want the crypto technocrats want cryptocurrency to be the thing because then they can control that shit.
That's exactly.
Yeah, and you can't trace that stuff.
Yes.
And you know, and their libertarian wet dreams that they have.
Mhm.
But the thing with the cats, they've already debunked it. They debunked it on the night,
I know they debunked
and they're
it.
still doubling down. And
Yeah.
and before the show started, I was telling Keith, Laura Loomer, who I think December had us a this motherfucker one time,
Yes.
said that the Haitians eat people
And
today
now-
on Twitter.
Now they've
And
changed it.
she was part of Trump's debate prep team.
And
Oh,
she's a
we got
9/11
some others.
truther that Trump brought to the 9/11 remembrance ceremonies,
To the memorial. Yeah.
to the memorial.
Come
He
on.
brought
She is
that
an
bitch to
unhinged
the memorial.
person.
I'm sorry to call her that, but it is what it is. You know, she also posted that if Kamala now, when Marjorie Taylor Greene calls you out for being a racist, you might just be a racist.
Oh my God, yeah.
Marjorie
Yeah.
Taylor Greene, call her out. They've been in the back and forth online. And then Marjorie Taylor Greene was on the news today live saying, we can't get behind that. That's not MAGA. Madam MTG. That is MAGA. I promise you it is. And that's
It's
why
a logical
he's
conclusion
dragging this,
of MAGA.
this little racist woman around with him. That is MAGA. Goddamn, it is MAGA.
Yeah.
She said that the White House is going to be smelling like curry, and that the phones are going to be answered by Indians or something over in India. That is MAGA. Own that shit.
Mhm.
Own it.
And
Because
again,
if it weren't, then he wouldn't be flying around with her ass.
yeah.
It
Well,
is. Own
so-
it. Own her, and own all the rest of the kooks that y'all got over there.
Yeah. So what happened today, right before we came on live tonight, I saw a couple of news stories that there were bomb threats in Springfield, Ohio.
Yes, the
where they're
bomb threat
claiming this is
at
going on.
the town hall.
Yeah, in
or city office or
City
whatever.
Hall, and public schools, in the
Yeah.
district where these refugee children are going to school. That's where the bomb threats were called in. So these kids now can't go to school. They're being terrorized by someone.
These words have
with a bomb.
consequences.
Yes, yes. These
These
so
are
we're
real
laughing-
people behind these
Yeah.
things.
We're
And
laughing
this is what he's
now, we're
posting on
saying-
his page and what he's saying on a night when 60 million people are watching.
That's right. Yeah. So we're laughing because it sounds just crazy, and who would believe this? Listen, some of his followers, they believe it because he said it's true. Therefore, it's true. And
He's their
going
God.
now-
If he
Yeah.
said it, it must be true.
And so it's turning into threats of violence. Hopefully, it stops at threats. I hope it doesn't turn into actual violence. But
I hope
you know,
not.
look how easy this is. And again, guys, think about it this way: he's not even the president yet, and already the stuff that he is saying on television and on social media is turning into people their lives being threatened and their lives being disrupted and creating terror. He's a terrorist. Okay,
He is.
imagine if he was the
Terrorist.
freaking president. Imagine how much worse this would be.
And imagine how much
Told us
worse
how
it
worse
would
how
be.
worse it would be.
Imagine how much worse it would be this round now that his hand-picked Supreme Court then told him, hey, you got immunity.
Mhm.
That's right. He can say
And the
do
little
whatever he
few
wants.
little caveats we left in there, we're gonna put a lot of hurdles in place for them to get over those little few hurdles to get you on any other shit that you do.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah.
It's wild.
Yeah.
It's wild. Check your voter status at vote.org. Everybody, you need to vote. You cannot afford to sit at home. We cannot afford it this year. Not only can we not afford to sit home this year, we can't afford to do to Kamala what we did, and I'm part of that, what we did to Barack, which is everybody voted, he won, yay, yay, hoop, hip hop, hooray, ho, midterms come around and you sitting at the goddamn house. No.
Yep.
We got to show up every fucking time.
Right.
We need to show up in November. When the midterms come around, we need to show up. When your local elections of your school district superintendents, okay, because these are the motherfuckers that are banning books and shit,
Yeah.
and making it putting up the 10 Commandments in the classroom. I love God just as much as the next person. I believe in the 10 Commandments just like the next person. I don't believe I had to force that shit down a Muslim kid's throat or
That's
a
right.
Jewish kid's throat or a
Buddhist,
Hindu kid's
Hindu,
throat.
Yeah.
And if the Bible belongs in the classroom, so does the Quran.
Yeah. And the Vedas.
Wake
And
the
yeah.
fuck up.
Popol
You don't
Vuh.
get to force your religion onto anyone else any more than anyone gets to force their religion onto you.
Yeah.
If your kids shouldn't be indoctrinated, shouldn't nobody else's kids be indoctrinated either? And just because you're trying to just because it's the Bible, it doesn't make it any less indoctrination if you're pushing it on people who are not Christian. It is what it is. You want your child to know the 10 Commandments? Teach them that shit at home. Send them to Sunday school.
It's already
Okay?
the best.
You need to show up in November, show up for the
People can go
midterm,
pick up
show
a
up for
copy.
your superintendent, school vote, show up for the show up for the damn coroner, show up for every damn thing. Don't leave nothing to chance.
Yeah.
What were you saying, Dylan?
I'm saying the Bible's like one of the most popular, best-selling books in the world. If somebody wants a copy of the Bible, they can go find one.
You can go to
It
a
does not
motel
have to
room
be
and pick one up
And
anywhere.
homeroom class, or after PE.
Yeah.
They can find that shit somewhere else.
Yeah.
Yeah. But, I mean,
It was
it's-
wild. It was a wild night. And listen, I want to remind y'all to we got merch now. We got cups, we got hats, we got t-shirts, we got sweatshirts. Go on and get some merch over there. You can throw the link up there. Thank you, brother producer. Go on and get you some merch. 25% of the proceeds go to nonprofits. We're the first couple of nonprofits we're choosing up through the end of the year until we all get through them are the ones we're choosing. Eventually, you'll be able to choose one. So go ahead and get you some merch, okay? And also remember to listen to us every Wednesday on John Fugelsang's Tell Me Everything on Progress Radio 127 on Sirius XM. And you already know we right here on Thursdays, boo. So you just need to be right here on Thursdays with us at 8 o'clock. Get them kids fed, put them somewhere else because we got strong language, and put your earphones in, and you need to listen to us talk about the fundamental fuckwittery of the week and this motherfucker, whoever that is, and some good fucking news from Keith Giles. Stay tuned in and share, like, subscribe, all that good stuff.
That's right.
And if you don't have Sirius XM, you can go to Apple Podcasts and look up the John Fugelsang podcast. On Thursday afternoons, our segment is typically there on the John Fugelsang podcast from the night before.
Mm-hmm.
So you can check us out even if you don't have a subscription to Sirius XM.
That's right. And this live podcast that we're doing now will show up the next day on Friday as a podcast, and you can listen to the podcast on Spotify or Apple or Amazon or Podbean or wherever you listen to podcasts. You can listen to it. We would say subscribe to the podcast as well, because we want the podcast to be successful as well as the live stream too. So if you like and subscribe on the podcast, that would help us a lot.
And we have some spotlight episodes coming up.
Yes.
We love you too, Judy.
And
yes,
so
Dylan has
tuned.
gotten some great interviews.
Yeah, good interviews coming up. That's right.
Good interviews coming up. Well, thank you, everybody. That's our show. I'm Dylan Neighbor Cruz, the Tattooed Theologian. And on behalf of Keith Giles, the Progressive Heretic, and December Rose, my blackest, coolest friend, I want to say thank you for listening, and come back and see us next week.
Hey, guys.